Hey everyone, I'm Mark, founder at Nodeledge. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what learning looks like in the Nodeledge platform. So Nodeledge is a platform that uses science-backed methods to ensure you learn effectively and efficiently. Effective because you want to make sure you're leaning on everything that cognitive science has learned around what works and what doesn't and how the brain works over the last decades, and efficient because you want to make sure that you don't spend all day doing it. So our flagship course is called Python Done Right, and this takes you from complete beginner very gently all the way up to proficient in Python. By proficient, we mean we cover everything that will be covered in a standard introductory Python course, and the course will be doubling in the next couple of months to take you up to intermediate level. So let's dive in and click on Python Done Right and look at what things look like in the platform. So on the main landing page, we have a couple of headers, which we'll come to in a second, but we have a set of next available actions. These actions are things we can choose in terms of what we want to study next. There are three concepts to be aware of in the Nodeledge platform. One is lessons. This is where we acquire completely new knowledge. Activities. This is where we apply existing knowledge. So think of these as mini projects. And reviews. Reviews are where we build fluency by practicing previously studied topics, which we encountered in lessons. So we can view the course overview. This learner is 36% of the way through. We can look at the lessons. There's around 90 lessons in the course at the moment. Like I said, that's set to double. And we can click into any one of these as we want and view the reference material for it, which is nicely laid out. We do that anytime. We can also visualize the course in 2 dimensions. So things are built in Nodeledge using knowledge graphs. Knowledge graphs allow us to link explicitly the dependencies between the required information or knowledge at a given lesson. So if we were to be, for example, looking at nested for loops, then we would have as prerequisites other things relating to iteration and loops in Python. The real upshot for this for you as a learner is across our hundreds of questions, which have been carefully crafted, you will never be asked to solve a problem on something for a given lesson for which you have not met the prerequisite knowledge for. This careful approach means we can climb you all the way up to fairly advanced topics very gently, being very clear around what the dependencies are to master it. And we can see here for this learner, the completed lessons are marked in blue, that they're, like I said, about 36% of the way through, and they're going to go all the way up to the top. Nice. So we can also view this in 3 dimensions if we want to explore the Python universe. It's kind of a fun visual. Nice. Let's look at a lesson now to see how learning works. So let me just click on one. Okay, I'm going to click on LF. So first things, we have this landing page when we're learning, and we've got 2 interactive Python environments on the right. We've got an editor and a console. Console is just a thing we can type line by line in and get execution there. So the editor is where we write scripts for longer form content, and we can run that. Obviously, I haven't entered anything at the moment. And each lesson is essentially structured as a sequence of parts, and those parts we progress through by answering questions. Before we tackle the questions, we take on board an explanation. This is like a minimal view of the content that we need to be able to solve the problem and give us just what we need to apply it. So after that, there's a worked example, which mimics what we're going to be applying when we look at the problem set. And then we have a question that's based off this explanation and example. So I'm just going to guess an answer. I haven't solved this problem. So let's just submit. Okay, we've got it correct. Obviously, I just guessed. And then we get a nice worked example explanation, which gives us the code that we needed to write and also the line-by-line explanations for it. And it unlocks the next question. Now, if we keep answering questions correctly, we'll eventually complete the lesson. If we get too many incorrect, we'll fail the lesson, which means we'll be asked to pause before we can retake it again. That's not a problem. What it means is that we don't allow ourselves to move on shaky foundations. We want to make sure we only move on when we have mastered the prerequisite materials. And the system, back on this landing page, will automatically detect where we're struggling, etc., and schedule more practice for us as required. So yeah, that's a quick overview. Very excited to present this course. Check out our beta offer down at the bottom, and if you've got any other comments or feedback, just get in touch. Thank you.